Hello and welcome back to another session of super quick wealth management bite-sized tips. My name is Sunaina Bisht and I'm a financial advisor with a leading financial institute of the country. And today we're going to talk about the most common questions I get asked on life insurance while talking about it with my clients. The very first question actually that comes across is, how is this helping me create wealth? Well, creating wealth is only one side of the coin. The second side would be to make sure that your liabilities are getting protected. That means any future plans that you have are protected. And if you're the only earning member in your family, your demise is going to create more than just one emotional gap. It will also have a very deep financial impact on your family and your family's financial well being. Your life insurance will make sure that your family stays secure, that your family is able to still continue with the same lifestyle that you had created for them. Now, these things will only be possible in case your life insurance coverage is enough and you have taken your decision basis very logical questions that you asked yourself. In case you haven't seen a video already on life insurance essential, please go ahead and see that. I can guarantee those will be the best few minutes of education learning that you will spend when it comes to life insurance. Okay, so let's go to one of the questions that we get. It is about, can premium for life insurance change in future? Now, most of the time your premium will remain the same if everything remains the same. Now, you would know your life insurance will also require you to have health checkups on regular basis. So in case there is a change in a habit, there's high likelihood that your premium will change as well, and you should make sure that you are disclosing any illness that comes to you in your documents. Once you've bought your life insurance as well, it would be a good thing to get in touch with your company and let them know in good faith that this is what your current medical condition looks like. It will have an impact on your overall premium, but that's not the point of life insurance. The point of life insurance is making sure that your family gets that financial support after you're not there. And in case of investigations, if any information comes out which sounds like full disclosure was not done or information was not provided in good faith, then it could possibly lead to a rejection of the claim, which will be a problem, a very big problem for your family. So make sure that you do that. And in case your premium changes, it's okay. That only means that the company is still ready to cover you, but at a higher rate. It usually is not a very large amount, not something that you should be spending more time worrying about. What if I start smoking after or before taking the policy? I suggest before you take the policy, you do complete disclosure about your smoking habits. Now, you might not really consider yourself as a habitual smoker because you only have one once a week, or in case you're feeling stressed, or maybe during a party along with your drinks. But for a company, that does not matter. For a company, 1 or 100 is absolutely the same thing. So it's not your perception of it, but the actual fact of it. If you've smoked a cigarette, it makes you a smoker. So make sure that you're disclosing that. Another factor that I would like to highlight here, and we see a lot of claims which get rejected because of it. The brokers, because they want your claim to go through, or rather your policy term insurance to actually get affected, will want to fill in the document themselves, and they might fudge some information there. So make sure that your policy document information is something that you're doing yourself and not given it in the hands of somebody else who might not be relied upon. Those brokers might not be there for your family when it comes to making claims because they've already got their commission and they've moved on. So make sure that you take care of that. Now, in case you become a smoker after you've bought the policy, unless and until it is mentioned within the policy that you need to disclose that, you probably would not have to disclose the fact. But again, make sure that you're not cheating the company there. The company has much larger resources than you can think about when it comes to investigating cases, because we're talking big money, and it is big money for the company every single time. So make sure that you're not lying to them on the paper, but later on, if you've actually taken up smoking later on, it's okay if your policy does not mention that it needs to be disclosed. Settlement of more than one claim. Firstly, I don't advocate having a lot of insurance policies. One insurance policy should be more than enough. That too, again, base variant of it. Your riders should be chosen very carefully depending upon the kind of lifestyle that you have, because each rider that you add on to your policy also increases your overall premium amount. So you don't need to have all the riders. Check out our video about life insurance riders to understand what each rider means and if it would be applicable to you or not applicable to you. But in case you've taken a policy, which is more than one policy, in case you have two policies or three policies, please don't have three policies, at maximum have two. But in case you have two policy, at the time of buying the second one, make sure that you've disclosed your current insurance policy in the new proposal form. Make sure that your employer policy is also included and disclosed. Make sure that your company knows if there's another company which is currently covering you for your insurance, and that includes your insurance from your employers as well. And in case you change your employer, or you become an entrepreneur, or you start your own business, make sure that you're updating that information with the company as well. Now, when it comes to the settlement of the claim, submit your death certificate with the first policy, or the policy which is the longest running policy. Their acknowledgement of your death certificate and the fact that they are in the process of giving out the claim would be acceptable by the other company, because the other company would not want to do the same amount of paperwork as duplication, which your first insurance company would have already done. They're completely okay taking the acknowledgement and moving forward from there. Can claim be made in case of accidental death? This is again one of the most common questions we get about life insurance, that in case it was not natural death and it was an accidental death, does life insurance still pay out? Absolutely. The life insurance still gets paid out, does not matter what the reason for the death was. It could be anything, it could be natural, it could be accidental, it could be old age, it could be whatever. But in case you have an additional rider of personal accidental rider on top of your normal insurance for life, then your payout would increase, because one would be the base life insurance amount which will be given to you, and on top of that it would be the rider amount which gets given. So for example, if your life insurance was for 75 lakhs and then your personal accidental rider was 20 lakhs, then you will get 75 lakhs plus the 20 lakhs as the total claim amount in case of accidental death. Now, if it was a natural death, then you will only get the amount of 75 lakhs as claim. The other 20 lakhs will not be coming to you. Now, insurance cover outside India, does it become applicable or not? Now, two things to consider here. One would be, are you going long term or are you going short term as part of your travels? If it's part of your travels, it does not make much of a difference. But if you're going long term, then I would advise that you take an insurance of the place that you are currently residing in. Now, why is it important? One, when you apply for a life insurance, you are applying for it. You're giving the proposal to the company, and a company does a lot of checks. So in case you're not residing in the country, then in order to get those checks done, the verifications done, your health checkup done on regular basis will become a little difficult and troublesome. So those are the factors you should consider before you decide if you want to take an insurance in India or you would want to do that somewhere else. If you've already taken the insurance and post that you're moving out, then update that with the insurance company. Let them know what your new address would be and that move is permanent or temporary, right? The facilities should be available in your insurance terms and conditions. That means the company in their policy document which they've provided to you should state that it is a coverage which is provided irrespective of where you're staying in the world. It's very important to make sure that statement's given there and you don't rely on a word of mouth of anybody at all. Now, it could get declined because of some countries which would be covered unsafe. For example, if you're going to Pakistan, that might not get covered. If you're going to few countries in Africa like Uganda, it might not get covered because these countries are politically unsafe or are currently in a turbulence, and there are higher likelihoods of you losing your life there for whatever reason you might be going. That doesn't matter. Now, since the likelihood has increased, it could be that the company would consider this as a possible reason of putting your own life at risk, right? And that's not something that the insurance companies pay out for. So that could be one of the reasons why it gets declined. So while it is possible, there's still conditions around it. Make sure that you're talking to the company representatives very clearly, very carefully, and it is a complete disclosure that you've done and everything is documented. That's very important. All right, thank you so much for your time. I hope this was very helpful for you. We post videos on mutual funds, insurance, income tax, and other wealth related topics. Make sure that you check them out and subscribe to us and share our videos with everyone that you care for. Thank you once again.